from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
In the wake of that deadly shooting at Robb Elementary, the search for answers continues.
And we here at KSAT want to do everything we can to get you the information you need. And that's why our parent company, Graham Media, has filed a lawsuit against the city of Uvalde, the Uvalde CISD, and the Uvalde County Sheriff's Office.
Specifically, we filed a writ of mandamus. The goal is to get entities listed in the suit to disclose records we've requested under the Texas Public Information Act. A statement from our legal counsel reads, quote, "For more than 3 months, the city of Uvalde, Uvalde CISD, and Uvalde Sheriff's Office has resisted the community's calls for transparency and accountability. We ask that the court grant our petition so that the people of Uvalde can understand the truth about what happened that fateful day," end quote. This is the second lawsuit the media organizations have filed seeking more information. The first was earlier this month against the Texas Department of Public Safety. We'll have more online and tonight on KSAT 12 News at 5 and again at 6.
Meantime, what a day in the weather department. We've got some rain, lots of it.
That's right. Around San Antonio, though, it is fairly quiet at the moment, but we are starting to see some showers and storms fill in. It was a very busy morning west of San Antonio, across parts of the Edwards Plateau in the Hill Country. You can see that there still are flash flood warnings in effect from areas in Real County all the way south toward Eagle Pass. Those in effect for the next couple of hours or so. In some areas across the Edwards Plateau in the Hill Country, we've seen 4 to 6 inches of rain. Meanwhile, that particular line is not necessarily going to make it to San Antonio, but you can see that there are some showers and storms that have started to push into Guadalupe County near Seguin, Geronimo, and near New Braunfels. As we put this in motion here, you can see that the movement is a bit to the north and east, but it's starting to build back towards San Antonio. So as we head into the later afternoon hours around San Antonio, we're going to have to be on the lookout in the afternoon commute for some heavier downpours. So heavier downpours will be possible. We'll be looking at coverage of about 40 to 50%. It will not rain everywhere, but where it does, that rain could be heavy. I'll be back with another in-depth look at the radar. Of course, we'll talk about the aquifer, the pollen count, and our rain chances into Labor Day weekend. Ursula.
A lot to talk about. Thank you so much, Sarah. Testimony in the public corruption trial of Michelle Barrientos Vela, featuring a Texas Ranger who led that investigation into her office, including an alleged shakedown of a park renter. Ranger Bradley Freeman is the case's lead investigator who helped the prosecution build its case that the former constable tampered with security records from a West Side park. Barrientos Vela faces up to 10 years of prison if convicted. The case dates back to 2019. It centers on the former constable's responsibility of providing and billing for security at Rodriguez Park, among other duties. The state could rest its case later this week.
We have new details this noon about a West Side shooting victim. We have learned that he is a 21-year-old man. However, so far we still don't know his name. Here's what else we do know. Yesterday, a driver in a Jeep pulled up in front of a home on Morales Street. That's near Martin and 26th Street. The victim walked up to the vehicle, talked to someone inside before turning around and walking away. And that's when witnesses say someone inside the Jeep shot the man in the back, killing him. Right now, police are still trying to figure out who pulled the trigger.
San Antonio police are trying to catch up with the person who may have made a West Side man feel anything but welcome in his new neighborhood. They say someone shot him as he was heading to his new home. It happened in the 2200 block of San Luis Street. Katrina Weber tells us it was an unexpected greeting for this new homeowner.
Police say the victim told them he was new to this area, that he had just moved in, but it seems someone treated him in a most unwelcome way. When officers found him around 11 last night, he was suffering from a gunshot wound in his arm. They say witnesses told them someone drove up to the 2200 block of San Luis Street and started shooting. Officers at the scene said the 42-year-old man told them he was walking to a home that he had just moved into when he was hit by the gunfire. He was rushed to a hospital, but officers say he should be okay. On the sidewalk today, there were tiny drops of blood, a sign of what happened there last night. Why it happened and who shot him are questions that no one so far can answer. Police are still looking for the shooter, someone who was in a dark-colored sedan with another person. Reporting from the West Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
A former Bexar County deputy now charged for his alleged part in an attack on an inmate at the Bexar County Jail. This is our first look at the mugshot of 46-year-old David Amaro. He is accused of tampering with a government record. The sheriff says an inmate told Amaro he had been attacked by other inmates, but allegedly Amaro did not help. He's accused, in fact, of lying on his daily report by not even noting that the attack had happened. The sheriff says later on surveillance video apparently showed that Amaro may have not only witnessed the attack, but may have ordered part of it. He was fired in February of last year and more than a year later is now facing a state jail felony charge.
This noon, the search continues for a man believed to be connected to a series of burglaries. Police say he broke into consignment shops in San Antonio, Olmos Park, Castle Hills, and Soma. SAPD says this man is seen wearing the same Nike Jordans in all burglary videos. He also has a tattoo of Benjamin Franklin on his right forearm. Officers tell us the suspect targets high-end handbags. If you know who this man is, you're asked to call investigators at 210-207-7629. A San Antonio attraction turns into a crime scene after 2 people were stabbed on the Riverwalk. Now police are teaming up with Crime Stoppers, hoping to gather more clues. It happened back on July 23rd, just after 5 a.m. Officers say one of the victims got into a fight with the suspect in the 200 block of East Houston Street. After the fight, the victim and another person tried to walk away, but the suspect followed him and then started another fight, and that's when the 2 victims were stabbed. If you have any information on that crime, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP. Still coming up this half hour, the UTSA Roadrunners passing out some coveted numbers to a few of their football players, part of a new tradition.
If you think space exploration is in your future, you don't have to travel light years to get started. We're going to take a look at a new program, a local program that's helping students reach out of their world goals. You want to head out to space or maybe use some technology here on Earth? There's a new master's degree program at UTSA just for you.
This fall semester, a Master of Science degree in aerospace engineering being offered that'll prepare students for a successful career designing aircraft, spacecraft, and more.
Tiffany Huertas takes us on a hands-on learning tour and sees how they are training students to go to.
Students part of this program have access to different labs, including this one where they have a wind tunnel that is very unique. They are testing here, capable of simulating airspeeds of up to Mach 7 or 7 times the speed of sound. To talk more about this lab, we have Professor Chris Combs with us. Good morning. Talk to us about what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so like you said, this is a really unique facility. We're only one of a handful of schools in the United States that has a hypersonic wind tunnel that students have access to on campus. And so we can run this facility at speeds up to Mach 7. You're talking mile per second type velocities. And we use this type of facility to do work for NASA, the Navy, the Air Force, to better understand how vehicles and space systems and commercial aircraft are going to hold up at very extreme velocities.
What skills are students learning here?
The thing that I like to say is that students in this lab wear a bunch of different hats, because some days they are doing aerodynamic testing, they're doing math and the hardcore fluid physics, but they're also plumbers, electricians, they're writing code, they're doing data analysis and image processing. They're learning how to use these cameras and build optical systems as well. So there's a really broad range of skills that they can take with them when they graduate.
Is this industry growing?
Absolutely. And one thing that we've seen that led to us developing this proposal is that in the San Antonio area alone, just in the last year, there were over 90 jobs posted for aerospace engineers, and there wasn't a single program in the San Antonio area addressing that. So that's a need that we're really trying to fill here.
What are you most excited about?
I'm excited to see what the students do and what they contribute when they're gone, because the whole point of this program is to graduate them, get them into the workforce after they've been trained up, and then, in my opinion, the really exciting things happen to see what they create once they're out of here and they're in the workforce.
And we need to hear from one of the students to see maybe what's the most exciting part of this. What would you say is the most exciting part of this program for you?
Getting to work with lasers all day, operating like a world-class facility. There's never a dull moment here.
Do you think that this will help many students in our community?
Oh, absolutely. And, I see that in like the undergrad students we mentor and the students that have been a part of the lab and have gone on to work in industry. Absolutely, yes.
For students that want to participate in this program and join it, when can they do that?
Applications are open right now. I'd encourage them to check out our website. On the graduate school website, we have more information on the program. You can apply today, and we could take students starting as early as the spring.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have all those details on KSAT.com. Reporting from UTSA, Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Very interesting. Like the laser thing. That looks like just fun.
Yeah, and dangerous too, David. Don't try it at home.
I'm sorry. Look at those clouds. We're like sandwiched in between some storms, aren't we? Got east and west, but where's the stuff in the middle?
We are in San Antonio, sandwiched in between a storm system out west, which has produced some flooding and some showers and storms that have developed off to the east. But into the afternoon, we do expect for this to at least fill in somewhat around the San Antonio area. Coverage this afternoon will only be about 40 to 50%, but that's still a good chance for some rain and could cause some headaches for the evening commute. The aquifer is down 0.4 of a foot over the past 24 hours. And in the pollen count today, we've got 3 allergens out there. Both molds and fall elm are moderate, but that is down from yesterday. Pigweed is low. An in-depth look at that radar coming up.
So the good news,
After looking at that,
after looking at the stock market, is that the temperatures this week are going to be nowhere near where they've been the past few months.
Absolutely, Ursula and David. We're going to have a chance, at least a chance, for some rain throughout the remainder of this week, and our highs will only be near 90 degrees around San Antonio.
Check that out.
Yeah, a little bit too much of a good thing, though, out west earlier this morning. Plenty of rain fell across parts of the Edwards Plateau, the Rio Grande Plains, and even in the hill country as well. And you can see right now, a lot of that rain has become more light to moderate rather than the heavy soaking rain. So that's good news for these areas that are currently under flash flood warnings. We've got flash flood warnings extending all the way through northern Real County, all the way down to Eagle Pass. In many of these areas, pockets of 4 to 6 inches of rain have fallen. So if you're tuning in out west and you're under a flash flood warning, avoid low water crossings. There's been plenty of reports of water over those low water crossings. Here's a look at the rainfall that fell earlier and is falling across these areas. Look at near Camp Wood, 6 inches of rain in just a matter of 1 to 2 hours out there. In fact, Highway 55 out there was closed because of some water on the roads. Meanwhile, earlier in Del Rio, pockets of 4 inches of rain fell around Del Rio. There unfortunately was some flash flooding that prompted schools to have a delayed start early in Valverde County. Back here in San Antonio, you can see that it is fairly quiet around the Alamo City at the moment, but we're starting to see some thunderstorms develop, especially across Guadalupe, Wilson, and Comal counties. Some heavier downpours right near Floresville at the moment and north of Stockdale. You can even see some pockets of heavier rain starting to filter into San Antonio as well. But really the heaviest of the rain around the metro area is falling through Guadalupe County, through Seguin, eastern New Braunfels into New Braunfels, the green area getting some heavier rain right now out toward Luling. You can see that the general motion of these is slow to the northeast, but we're starting to see a little bit development on the western side of that. And so it's because of that around San Antonio this afternoon, the evening commute rather could be a bit messy in spots. Now here's a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast for San Antonio. You can see that this afternoon our rain chances gradually increase. Coverage should be about 50%. So again, unfortunately there will be those that miss out on the rain, but some folks will get some rainfall. High temperature right near 90 degrees. And then once we lose the daytime heating after sunset close to 8, our Rain chances are going to go down to about 20% coverage. There still could be a few showers in the overnight hours, just not as much as we're seeing out there right now. Speaking of right now, it is 87 degrees. It's cloudy at the airport. It feels like 92 because those dew points are so high. We've got a very tropical air mass in place, high humidity and scattered rain. That's the case. Take a look at these temperatures. You can really tell which areas are getting rain-cooled air. New Braunfels, it's only 76 in New Braunfels right now, 72 in Spofford, 72 in Rock Springs, but it's close to 90 degrees around San Antonio where we're seeing a little bit of sun. Take a look at the high-res futurecast. I think this paints a good picture. Into this afternoon, you can notice that there are potentially some more storms around San Antonio. Coverage will be about 50%. Then as we lose the daytime heating, that rain chance will go down, but we still could see a few showers in the overnight hours. By early tomorrow morning around San Antonio, a few showers are possible, but some more heavy rain possible across the Rio Grande Plains out to the west toward Del Rio. And then once again, tomorrow afternoon, 40 to 50% coverage when it comes to showers and storms. Again, it is not going to rain everywhere, but where it does, that rain could be heavy at times. 40% Wednesday, 40% Thursday. And as you're planning your Labor Day weekend, your holiday weekend, know that we do have some rain in the forecast for those days. Saturday through Monday, about a 30% chance at the moment. We'll be able to refine that forecast as we get closer to the weekend. The KSAT Weather Authority app is going to come really in handy over the next coming days. If we need to, we'll go live right to your phone from the app. And we'll also take some time to talk about the tropics coming up in the next half hour of the news at noon. Ursula, David.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
The Cowboys making some cuts today, plus an injury problem, and Serena Williams getting her last U.S. Open off to a pretty nice start.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Big day around the NFL. However, it's going to be a good day for some, not so good for others, because the Dallas Cowboys, as well as the rest of the NFL, have major decisions to make. Cut down day is today. All the NFL teams have to get their rosters down to the league limit of 53 players. The Cowboys have already told Ben DiNucci he is one of those cuts. While they trim their roster, they have a tough situation when it comes to their left tackle position. Tyron Smith, who was injured in practice after the second preseason game, is not expected back until December at the earliest, if at all. The Cowboys will be the first ones to tell you that's why they drafted Tyler Smith with their first pick, but he may not be ready to go for the season opener September 11th against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, since he's got an ankle injury. He sidelined him for the Cowboys' final preseason game against Seattle. So here's what the Cowboys Vice President Stephen Jones had to say on his weekly radio show in Dallas.
He's ready to go, and barring something unforeseen to start practice, he was a green light to start practice today.
All right, so he's ready. If for some reason Smith is not ready for the challenge, Jones added that they will use someone in-house to fill the void, not bring in another player. We are just a few days away from the kickoff of the UTSA Roadrunners football season, a chance to defend their Conference USA championship and their 12-win season. One of the young traditions giving single-digit numbers to some of the players. It is part of the triangle of toughness mantra that was introduced by head coach Jeff Traylor, and two of the recipients are two senior leaders on the team, quarterback Frank Harris and safety Rashad Wisdom, both San Antonio high school products.
It means a lot. Just having all my peers, my teammates, my coaching staff all believe in me. I'm very honored to be, in zero. This means a lot to me.
It's a big thing, especially for us. It's something that we're really bought into and really, really about. And, there's a lot of guys that got voted into the single digits this year that are new. And I feel as though the right people are in the numbers. So, I'm definitely excited for everyone that got voted in, because it's a big thing, and, we don't take it lightly.
Yeah, you got a single-digit number. You earned it. Now all that needs to happen is to pack the Dome on Saturday for the Roadrunners' 2:30 kickoff against Houston. Now to Serena Williams, not going into retirement without a fight. The 23-time Grand Slam champion won her first round match at the U.S. Open in front of a record-shattering crowd last night. ABC's Laura Spencer is one of the lucky 29,000 at Arthur Ashe Stadium for the thrilling match.
The greatest of all time, Serena Williams.
From the opening point, it was clear this was a first-round match unlike any other. The sold-out crowd roaring. Standing. And rooting for Serena Williams every step of the way.
The tension in here is so thick.
The 40-year-old managing to overcome a shaky start. Defeating 80th ranked Danka Kovanic in straight sets.
It's so important to give your all, no matter what you do, no matter how many obstacles you face.
Those lucky enough to score coveted seats to Arthur Ashe Stadium found themselves watching her historic last run at a Grand Slam title. Alongside celebrities like Hugh Jackman, Anna Wintour, and Queen Latifah. Fellow American tennis star Coco Gauff tweeting, "We here, watching the GOAT. I love you." Williams' 4-year-old daughter Olympia watching from the stands, stealing the show in the same diamond-studded outfit as her mom, wearing white beads just like mom did during her very first U.S. Open in 1999. After the match, a special ceremony featuring Billie Jean King and a video narrated by Oprah focusing on Williams' career, followed by a tribute by the crowd.
I just wanted people to be inspired by my story. I'm from Compton, California, and you know.
She was 17 years old in 1999 when she won that first U.S. Open.
To even show up at the Open and win a first round at 40 blows me away.
It's amazing, isn't it? That's why she is the GOAT.
Never stop. That's the lesson there.
Yep.
If you like traveling with your dog, you know it requires a lot of planning. That's especially true if you have an international trip planned. What you need to do to prepare your pup.
Outside with live, come on, look at those clouds.
It's so close.
They're just begging to
It's
drop
one of
some
those
rain.
days. It's one of those days where you're in San Antonio, you're looking at the radar and you got a bit of jealousy. Because there are many areas that are getting rain around the KSAT 12 viewing area. But this afternoon will be San Antonio's turn. Now, looking at the radar right now out to the west, flash flood warning still in effect all the way from Real County down toward Eagle Pass. But you'll notice that a lot of the heavier rain has started to let up in that area, and now we're just dealing with a bit of a light rain shield through areas where the rain is currently running off. All right, let's go ahead and get closer to San Antonio here, because I do want to show you that there are plenty of thunderstorms for the metro area, especially up toward New Braunfels and Seguin. That's where the very heavier rain is falling right now, and even near Floresville we're seeing some of those heavier showers push up north toward Lavernia. In San Antonio, you can notice that it's fairly quiet other than a couple of isolated showers on the east side of town. As we head into the afternoon, we get a little bit of daytime heating. We're going to start to see some more of these showers around the Alamo City. Coverage this afternoon will be 40 to 50%, so it will not rain everywhere, but where it does rain, that rain could be heavy at times, like what they're seeing out there near Seguin right now. So for your bus stop forecast, picking up the kids this afternoon, know that there will be 40 to 50% coverage of scattered downpours out there, and temperatures will be right near 90 degrees. An in-depth look at the radar, the aquifer, the pollen count, and a preview to Labor Day weekend coming up. David.
Thank you, Sarah. Overseas now to Russia's war in Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky declaring he will reclaim all territory seized by the Russians as his nation begins a major counteroffensive in the southern part of the country. Meanwhile, officials from the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, have arrived in Ukraine's capital as they prepare to head to the nuclear power plant that's been under repeated attack. ABC's Ike Jochi is in Washington with the latest.
Today, Ukrainian forces are in the midst of a new counteroffensive, aiming to retake land seized by the Russians. Fighting has intensified along the front lines in the southern city of Kherson, which has been occupied by Russia since the early days of their invasion. Ukrainian President Zelensky vowing to retake all territory lost to Russia during the war. He defiantly says, "I want the occupiers to understand it too. There will be no place for them on Ukrainian lands." Russia's semi-official news agency Interfax claiming Ukraine's counteroffensive is failing and that the Ukrainian military has already suffered hundreds of losses. Meanwhile, Russia is expanding attacks across the country, now with help. The New York Times reporting Iran delivered Russia the first batch of 2 types of military drone capable of air-to-surface attacks, identifying targets, and initiating electronic warfare. Russia's military accused of firing missiles at a residential area in Mykolaiv, killing at least 2 people. And in the northeast, in Kharkiv, Russians striking the heart of the city. New reports say that Russian President Vladimir Putin is trying to ramp up his military, aiming to add as many as 137,000 troops. All this as fears mount at Europe's largest nuclear power plant. New Maxar satellite images showing some of the damage at the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, which has been under increasing attacks. The Pentagon saying most of the shelling came from the Russians. The White House calling for a preemptive powering down of the site's nuclear reactors and for demilitarizing the area. President Zelensky is meeting with inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency in Kyiv. They're preparing to assess the situation at the nuclear power plant. Aika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Now to the latest on the FBI search and seizure at former President Donald Trump's home in Florida. The Justice Department says it reviewed the documents taken from Mar-a-Lago earlier this month and now says it did take potentially attorney-client privileged documents. The former president has asked that an independent person review the classified documents to do that review. But now the DOJ says it's already done the review itself. Nevertheless, a hearing is set for Thursday where a judge is going to consider former President Trump's request for a special master to now oversee the review of all documents taken. The Duke University volleyball player who was subjected to racial slurs during a recent match at Brigham Young University says officials at the game were slow to react. Duke sophomore Rachel Richardson tweeted that she and her black fellow teammates were targeted and racially heckled over the weekend during their game against rival BYU. She says game officials and the BYU coaching staff were made aware of what was going on during the match, but they didn't do anything about it. Rachel says she hopes the racism she endured on court can be a teaching moment off the court.
It's an opportunity for not just me, but for anyone who has an opinion, anyone who has a voice, to decide that it should be the last time.
BYU says it's completely committed to rooting out racism, adding that the fan accused of making the racial slurs is not a student and now is permanently banned by BYU.
After dealing with an influx of water in the form of rain and flooding, Mississippi's biggest city now without running water. The issue is affecting more than 100,000 people. People in Jackson, Mississippi are being told to expect little or no drinkable running water for an undetermined amount of time. The lieutenant governor says the water and sewer system is on the verge of completely collapsing.
It means the city cannot produce enough water to fight fires, to reliably flush toilets.
Jackson residents have been under boil water notices since last month when water samples found harmful contaminant levels. Recent severe weather only made matters worse. In the meantime, there will be distribution sites set up to get people the drinking water that they need. Brutal heat bearing down on big cities up and down the West Coast. More than 20 major U.S. cities will be under a heat alert as a prolonged and record-breaking heat dome builds through the holiday weekend. That's on top of the 30 million people already under excessive heat warnings from Central California to Southern California. Even coastal California cities like San Francisco that sometimes avoid these heat waves will not be escaping this one. The Seattle area expected to see temperatures 10 to 15 degrees higher than normal, and parts of the Southwest could exceed 110 degrees. This latest heat wave comes on the heels of other major heat waves this summer in the central and western U.S.
And of course, here in San Antonio as well. If you're traveling internationally with your dog, there are some very important things you should know, or you may end up facing a big travel headache. ABC's Justin Finch reports you could also be facing some hefty bills.
If you travel outside the U.S. with your dog, you may need your dog's rabies vaccine certification to return back to the U.S. The CDC says dogs entering the U.S. from a high-risk country will have to be at least 6 months old, look healthy, have a valid rabies vaccination certificate, or a valid CDC dog import certificate. Your dog will also have to enter the U.S. through one of the 18 airports with a CDC quarantine station. If your dog doesn't meet that criteria, you'll have to make a reservation at a CDC-approved animal care facility at airports in Miami, Atlanta, LA, or New York JFK. Dogs that have been to a high-risk rabies country and don't have a vaccination certificate, a dog import permit, or a reservation with an animal care facility may be denied entry, and you may have to pay for them to be sent back. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch.
And coming up, it seems like male dolphins are teaming up with other male dolphins to boost their chances of finding a mate. What new research says about that tactic.
It's one of the most coveted pieces of sports memorabilia, a Super Bowl ring. How some fans fell victim, though, to a scam and the consequences one man is facing.
A New Jersey man gets 3 years in federal prison in a scheme to sell fake Super Bowl rings.
Scott Spina pleaded guilty earlier this year to a single count of mail fraud, 3 counts of wire fraud, and then another count of aggravated identity theft. The U.S. Attorney's Office in the Central District of California says Spina bought memorabilia back in 2017 from a former pro football player. Spina then used that unidentified player's information to place an order for 3 family and friends Super Bowl rings with the name Brady on them. Spina told the ringmaker that the jewelry was for former New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady. Not true. He now plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by the way.
According to prosecutors, Spina eventually sold those rings to an auction house for $100,000. Spina's plea deal called for him to pay $63,000 in restitution to the former player.
Take a look at this. A hawk on the mend after an accident with a car in Virginia. It happened over the weekend when a driver reported to police that a bird had gotten caught in the grill of her car.
Fairfax County Animal Protection officer responded and was able to remove the hawk from the vehicle. It was then taken to a licensed wildlife rehab center for treatment. Ooh.
That looks painful. Okay, it appears that the dating scene for dolphins has a lot in common with ours.
Okay, in a new study, scientists found the marine mammals share the concept of wingmen with their human counterparts. Researchers analyzed the social structure of bottlenose dolphins and found males of the species team up to help each other find mates. The teams allow the male dolphins to spend more time with their female dolphin of choice, increasing the likelihood of a connection.
Hey, it works for us. Like any good bromance, though, researchers say the bonds between male dolphins also create social ties that have long-term benefits for the male dolphins.
When you see them hanging out at the...
Throwing one back.
Eating a couple squid. Instead of brewskis.
That's pretty good.
All right,
pretty
take a look
good.
outside with live cam. You can see that those clouds look dark and stormy, but at the moment, most of the rain is outside of San Antonio. We're still dealing with flash flooding issues out west across the Edwards Plateau, and especially in Kinney and Maverick County, where flash flood warnings are still in effect through this afternoon. But as you can see around San Antonio, generally quiet around the Alamo City itself. But if you're northeast near Shirt, Selma, New Braunfels, Seguin, Lavernia, Floresville, you're seeing plenty of rainfall out there this afternoon. The aquifer is down 0.4 of a foot over the past 24 hours. And in the pollen count today, we've got 3 allergens out there. Molds and fall elm are moderate. Pigweed is low. A closer look at that radar coming up in just a bit.
I feel like you just want to reach up and grab those clouds and squeeze them.
We need to have a talk with them.
Okay.
Can you have a talk with them, Sarah?
I will, just for you guys. Let's see what happens.
Very sternly point a finger at them.
No, today is planning out a lot like what we thought. You know, scattered downpours where there are those that are getting a good amount of rain right now, and there are those that are going to miss out. But as we head into the afternoon, I do think that coverage will increase around the San Antonio area a little bit more than what's occurring out there right now. But let's talk about what's going on right now for those that are getting some rain. That includes the New Braunfels area. Schertz, heavy downpour right smack dab near Clemens High School at the moment, right near Schertz, just to the northeast of JBSA Randolph. And you can see here that we're seeing some heavier rain that's falling through Seguin. By the way, Guadalupe County is now under an aerial flood advisory. What do all those words mean? Well, it means that there could be some ponding on the roads. And here's the reason why. What I'm going to show you right now is the rain rate. Okay, anywhere you see these purples, let's take a sample of that. The rain rate is about 5 inches an hour. Near Santa Clara, we've got a rainfall rate of about 7 inches an hour. Now, good thing these storms are moving, right? So they're not dumping 5 inches, 7 inches of rain in an hour. But it just goes to show you that is how heavy this rain is coming down. Torrential rains, honestly. But again, they are pushing to the north and to the east. So we're seeing a little bit of breaks in between these heavier downpours. But still, there could be some ponding on the roads for New Braunfels and for Seguin. Speaking of New Braunfels, let's go ahead and zoom into some of those areas around New Braunfels. The radar is actually right here. You can actually see the radar. So right along 35 there as you're getting into New Braunfels, that's where the heaviest of the rainfall is right now. Greene has already seen some good downpours too. And as we take a look closer to San Antonio, there's a very healthy downpour from Floresville up to Lavernia in Wilson County, and on the west side right near Adkins, St. Hedwig, we're seeing some of that heavier rain as well. I want to go ahead and take a trip further off to the west because this is the area that has seen a lot of flooding issues earlier today, and even right now there's still some flash flood warnings in effect out there. In Kinney County, a flash flood warning in effect until 1:15. In Maverick County, we're seeing flash flood warnings until 3:15. Although the rain is starting to let up out there, this rain has to drain off somewhere. These areas have seen up to 4 to 6 inches of rainfall so far throughout today. So what are we going to see here in San Antonio? Well, for the rest of the day, coverage of the rain should be about 40 to 50% coverage. Again, that means it's not going to rain everywhere, but we are going to see that potential here for rain. Temperatures should be topping off right near 90 degrees about right now. And then as we get those air outflow boundaries, we'll see some rain-cooled air around the area. Temperatures should fall into the 80s, and after sunset, we'll see our rain chances go down. There still could be an isolated shower tonight, but scattered downpours are less likely in the evening hours with the loss of daytime heating. Outside right now, you can see it's 87 degrees, cloudy, and it feels like 92. That's because the humidity is so high. I'd like to see this picture here. This is the satellite and the temperatures. You can really see where the rain-cooled air is. New Braunfels, it's 75, 77 in Gonzales, 78, Uvalde, 72 in Spofford. But right from Fredericksburg down to San Antonio to Pleasanton, temperatures are a lot hotter because we really haven't seen any of that rain-cooled air just yet. But take a look at this futurecast again this afternoon. About a 50% coverage here and there for some showers and storms around San Antonio. The evening commute could be damp in spots. As we lose the daytime heating, only a 20% chance in the overnight hours for some rain early tomorrow morning as well, with the heavier rains expected out west toward Del Rio and Eagle Pass, a lot like this morning, early tomorrow morning. And then by the afternoon, again, a few scattered downpours in the forecast. Coverage should be about 40%. So wherever the rain falls, it could be heavy at times, as I've just showed you. So that's what we'll be watching out for. Again, coverage 40 to 50%. And yes, we do have a chance for some isolated rain over Labor Day weekend. We'll show you that 7-day forecast in a bit. But for now, I wanted to show you out in the tropics. There's 2 areas that could very well develop into a tropical depression, tropical storm, or even a hurricane over the next 5 days. But it for now looks like these will not be impacting the United States in any meaningful way. But we do want to keep you updated on the tropics. Again, over Labor Day weekend, there is a chance for rain. We will be able to refine that forecast as we get closer to Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. These are your top headlines from Cheddar News. The melting Greenland ice sheet is on course to raise global sea levels almost a foot by the end of the century. That's according to a new study. The study just published in the Journal of Nature Climate Change found that the 10-inch rise will happen no matter how much greenhouse gases are cut. The amount of ice loss could cover the entire U.S. with 37 feet of water. Meanwhile, Panera Bread is going AI this week. Drive-through customers at 2 New York stores will have their orders taken by a computer, all to test if artificial intelligence technology can help decrease wait times. About 45% of the company's 2,000 restaurants have drive-throughs. Still, though, human employees will be on standby to offer assistance to take payment for orders. And Snapchat is adding a new dual camera feature. This will allow users to capture photo on video in the front and the back-facing cameras of their phones at the same time. The feature is part of Snapchat's to be released director mode with a wider range of tools as well. And that's your Cheddar News Update. I'm Baker Machado coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
From Baker on his own in Lower Manhattan.
Wow.
To Mike Osterhead.
Yeah, Mike getting all the food today.
Downtown San Antonio.
He didn't have to share with anybody.
I'll tell you what, we've got so much going on this show today. A little bit of everything, starting with dessert. Joe Shields from Nothing Bundt Cakes is here. 3 different sizes of bundt cakes. Special anniversary, right?
That's right. We're celebrating our 25th birthday, and we're going to give away 250 free buntlets.
Wow. And also how you can win a free, really big party by somebody. Okay, that's dessert. Now we need something to eat. And Adrian Davila from Double A Barbecue is here, and you've got a little bit of everything in there, don't you?
Yes, sir. We got smoked turkey breast, we got pork rib, some tangy coleslaw, and homemade potato salad as well.
And you ain't seen nothing yet. Look at this baby.
Now look at this rib.
That's a dino rib. And if you need to work all that off after that, Jennifer Berglund from Pure Barre is here. Describe what bar workout is.
Pure Barre is 50 minutes, high intensity, low impact, and it's great for everyone, all ages, all fitness levels.
Okay, we're going to get a demonstration. All right, need something for the kids to do after school? How about the public library?
Yes, we have so many things for kids to do now that school is back in session, and we have homework help.
All right, Teague Shush is going to have some great things for us to do. All right, pumpkin spice time. What is your favorite sort of pumpkin spice? We've got Werther's, of course, a nice little coffee, and Glade air freshener. And that and a whole lot more coming up on SA Live.
And taking a look at the 7-day forecast again, we've got scattered showers and storms out there. Pockets of heavy rain are possible over the next few days. And over the Labor Day weekend, we've got a 30% chance for some isolated showers and storms as well.
Raining close to David's house.
There you go.
We're hoping.
Very excited.
I'm very excited about that huge rib and a bundt cake. Is there anything better than a bundt cake?
A rib.
A rib.
That big. That looked pretty good.
Mike gets them both. SA Live starts right
now.
Hey, today on SA Live, we go inside New Braunfels' newest upscale rustic neighborhood bar serving fresh-made specialty cocktails. Plus, it's the Southside's barbecue buffet, and we make Double A tacos from it. And we're going to feature a full-body, low-impact, high-intensity workout that focuses on smaller movements to strengthen and tone your body in 50 minutes or less.
Celebrate San Antonio. Coming to you live from historic Market Square. This is SA Live.
All right, David Sears, eat your heart out. There is a plate full of little baby bundt cakes called, Joe?
Buntinis.
A buntini. It's a little party of buntinis right there, and all different flavors and everything. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm Mike Osterhage. Fiona is off today. Okay, our first guest getting ready to celebrate in a big, big way, and we all get to benefit from it. Joining us now, Joe Shields, owner of Nothing Bundt Cakes, celebrating silver anniversary, right?
That's right. Nothing Bundt Cakes is celebrating its 25th birthday.
Okay, and to celebrate, you're having a real big giveaway, right?
That's right, we are. So in just 2 days, on Thursday, September 1st, we're going to welcome the first 250 guests to each bakery and give them a free confetti buntlet.
Okay, so wait, that was the buntini over here.
That's correct.
And this is the?
That's the buntlet.
Buntlet.
Yes.
What's the big bunt called?
The big bunt.
The regular bunt?
The bundt cake, yes, that's
right.
right.
The bundt cake.
We have an 8-inch bundt cake and a 10-inch bundt cake.
Oh, they have to have different names, though. If that's a buntlet, buntini. So anyway, okay, so this is the confetti, but what makes a bundt cake so good?
Yeah, well, I think what makes our bundt cakes so good is they are incredibly fresh, moist. We use all real ingredients, bake them fresh daily. Our frosting is one of a kind. Our signature cream cheese frosting, you just can't beat it. Signature, thick, velvety.
Ooh.
How's it taste?
That's really good.
Is it good?
Yeah, sweet enough, and just that nice tang of the cream cheese.
Yeah.
So interesting story with you though, as far as cakes, right?
That's right. That's right. So I'm the owner of the Alma Heights location of Nothing Bundt Cakes, and surprisingly enough, I tell people I really don't like cake.
But you own a Bundt Cake store.
But I own a Bundt Cake store. So what really sold me was several years ago, went to a birthday party, a celebration. We had Bundt Cakes, went ahead and was a good party guest and tried it, and I was blown away because our cakes are different than any other cakes you try. The moistness of the cake, the freshness of it, the frosting on top, one of a kind. I've never had any cake like it, and so I said, I've got to start selling Bundt Cakes.
He's right. That is really moist and really good too. And the nice thing about it is you could get, what, a dozen of the little buntlets.
That's
and
right.
Everybody gets their own flavor, right?
Absolutely. So all different kinds of shapes and sizes, great for all kinds of events. We're back to school right now. You can say thank you to the teachers at the start of the school year with our back to school Bundt Cake over here. We've got little buntinis that have ABC toppers on them as well. So all different kinds of shapes and sizes. We live in a new day and age, and so everything can be individually packaged as well. So you can have a buntlet packaged, no hands needed on it, and can hand them out as gifts to people as well. So
what flavors do we have here on this table?
So we've got some of our core and most favorite flavors, which include chocolate chip.
And you said this is like the favorite?
That's the number one favorite. We also have red velvet. We have lemon, white chocolate raspberry. We also have some new additions to the core menu, which are snickerdoodle and strawberries and cream.
Whoa.
And we always have a seasonal flavor as well. So right now our seasonal flavor is lemon raspberry, but the exciting thing is in just 2 weeks we've got my personal favorite, which is pumpkin spice, coming back.
Go figure, because that's our social question today, so I'm not going to ask him what his favorite thing is. So, that is really good chocolate. Okay. So once again, the first 250 customers at each of the 6 locations. Where are the different locations?
That's
Yours
right.
Is on
so ours
Broadway.
is on Broadway and Alma Heights. There's also a location far west, Northwest, Stone Oak, Selma, and New Braunfels. And at each bakery, we all open at 9 a.m. on Thursday. The first 250 guests are going to receive this free confetti buntlet.
Okay, and there's something even bigger than that coming up here,
That's right. So to continue the celebration, Nothing Bundt Cakes is going to throw one sweepstakes winner a $25,000 party.
And who's put on by?
That's right. So it's going to be professionally planned by a Los Angeles celebrity party planner. At the time and date of your choice, whatever theme you want, but $25,000 allocated to a party of just celebrating you.
Think how many little buntlets you can get for $25,000, right? All of those. All right, how do you register for that big party?
Yeah, so you go to nothingbundtcakes.com/25, the number's 25, and no purchase necessary to enter September 1st through September 25th.
So again, starting Thursday, when you're having the giveaway,
That's
you can
right.
enter to win that big party.
Yep, that's when we start the celebration.
Okay, that is really good. That will make any non-cake person like that. So, all right, if you'd like more information on Nothing Bundt Cakes, head over to SALive.com, click on the As Seen on SA Live tab, or just scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen right there. And don't forget, Thursday, the first 250 people at each of the locations around town, and they're all spread about. It's a free, that was the buntlet.
That's correct.
A free confetti buntlet. All right. Well, as you just heard, Joe's favorite type of bundt cake is the
pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice. And guess what? Coming up here shortly, Starbucks is going to be rolling out their pumpkin spice menu. So, question of the day is, what is your favorite pumpkin spice? We have got some pumpkin spice, I guess, a latte from Summer Moon here. A little cold. That is kind of on the cool side, but very tasty. Werther's, chewy. This bag was full. I wonder who got into it. Those are really good. Here we have a little bit of International Delight pumpkin spice. Donuts from Dunkin', and this is new to me, pumpkin spice Glade. I don't know about that one. Anyway, let us know. We need to have a whole separate question about the whole Glade thing going on here. So what is your favorite pumpkin spice? And tell Tell us. We hope to have the answers a little bit later on in the show. Okay, from bundt cakes and pumpkin spice glade to dessert and food and wine from the Texas Hill Country, this winery is nestled just outside of Johnson City, is known not just for the wine but also the pizza. Our Jen Tobias Trusky takes us Texas tripping to Untamed Wine Estates.
On today's Texas Trippin', we take you to Johnson City, to a new estate where you can get some great food and delicious wine. And joining me now is Dane Sanvito, the owner and head winemaker here at Untamed Wine Estates. Hi, thanks for having me out here today.
Well, thank you, Jen. It's lovely to have you here.
Well, I know we're going to go on a little tour in a little bit, but what else will we be doing today? And we're obviously here in the barrel room, right?
Correct, yes. So we're here in the barrel room. This is where we age all our wines. We age them all for about 2 years here. Wow. We have the capacity to do 200 to 400 barrels in here right now. And then as for the rest of the day, we'll go through and do a little pump over and see how our red grapes are progressing.
Got it. And your wife also works with you, so I think you told me she's the chemist and also makes some delicious food, right?
Oh yes,
She's
definitely the brains of the operation, and we're fortunate to do this together, and so we spend a lot of time together, which is fantastic.
There you go. Lots to consider, lots of science that goes into everything before you get that delicious glass of wine. So okay, let's get started.
Absolutely, let's go.
Let's go. And now on to the process of winemaking, which is so interesting. Dane, tell me about what we have here.
So right here we have our tanks. We have just processed some of our Pinot Noir. It's in tank. With reds, we want to keep the skins and juice together because we want to extract all the flavor and color out of the skins. And so we do that by putting the skins, the juice, the berries, everything all together into the tank. And basically go through a process where we ferment in tank and then do pump overs twice a day. So pump overs basically meaning circulating the juice that's in the tank over and putting it back on top of the skins. So the problem is after fermentation, you're stuck with all the grapes that are still in tank. So there's a little bit of labor that goes into this.
Well, I guess you can put me to work. I came ready to work.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So just go ahead, stick it on the top,
okay.
Stick it in, and
all right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, that smells so good. Oh yeah, you're right. This is labor. Okay. Here we go, dude. Teamwork. Woo. How often do you do this?
So we do this for every red tank, every red batch that we do. We'll have to dig out these skins manually. So we'll probably do this about 20 to 30 times during harvest this year.
Okay. And harvest is now, right?
Yeah, right now we're in the thick of it.
Thick of it is right, my friend. Okay, Mackenzie, so there's obviously you have a whole lab here. There's a science that goes into it, but what are you doing here right now?
So this is our test for volatile acidity. It's a basic regulatory check for all wine. It really tests for the acetic acid in the wine, which can turn your wine into vinegar very quickly.
Oh, wow.
So we don't want that. We want to prevent for that.
And not only do you work here in the lab, but you also work in the kitchen. So what are we making today? Because I hear that we're going to get a sample of what you cook as well.
Well, we have an Italian pizza oven on site, so we're going to make some pizza. Today we're going to make our Meyer lemon pizza, one of our signature pizzas here. So it's Meyer lemon, mozzarella, olive oil, some arugula afterwards, prosciutto, and balsamic vinegar.
Okay, the pizza is done. Doesn't that look delicious? Now it is time to do some wine tasting. We got to see the process earlier with Dane, and I think it's time for some wine. That's what we came here for, right? Hello. Wow. So nice. Beautiful. Okay, so I have my wine, and Mackenzie, hi. I love how you guys have this all laid out here. So how does this work when someone comes here?
Yeah, so our tastings are a little bit different. Instead of just having one glass, we like to display the whole tasting. So you can go from glass number 1 to glass number 4 or back to number 2. It's really up to you and how you want to self-lead this tasting.
The self-guided tasting is a hit. Descriptions right in front of you, and you get to try all 4 samples. And next, I had to give this pizza a try. See why this is your favorite? So good. Thank you so much, Mackenzie, for having us out here. And if you'd like more information on Untamed Wine Estates, please come out here and see them and visit them in person. But if not, SALive.com, click the As Seen on the SA Live tab, where we have a link when you can make a reservation, and you will not regret it. I'm gonna keep doing my wine tasting now. You want a pizza? Gotta get you a plate.
I love how you have your own little flight right there of wines for all the different tasting. Well, it's harvest season right now, and of course they're receiving grapes, going to start making the wine, but it's also pizza making season, and they offer pizza making classes. You can find the dates on their website, and for more information on all that, just go to SALive.com and click on the As Seen on SA Live tab, or just scan that QR code right there on your screen. Okay, when SA Live continues with specialty cocktails from New Braunfels' newest upscale rustic neighborhood bar. And it's the South Side's very own barbecue buffet. Double A Barbecue joins us, and we're making some over-the-top tacos. Oh, that looks good.